All right, let's get started. Welcome to the Tennessee Fish and Wildlife Commission meeting today. It's May 31st, 2013. This is a Commission Day meeting, and my name's Jeff McMillan, and I am the chairman. We'll start off today with Commissioner Harold Cannon is going to do our invocation.
What you've given to us. I thank you for our staff. How remarkable, how blessed this state is to have the staff that we do who truly caretake of our wildlife and fishing resources. Blessings to them, blessings to their family. Watch over our officers today. May it be an uneventful day and an uneventful weekend for them. And for those folks who are enjoying the beauty and the wildlife of this state, may they remember that all of this true is not by this commission's nor even staff's doing, but it is a gift from you. For it's in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, that we pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Cannon. Ms. Barbara, could we please have a roll call?
Jim Bledsoe,
Here.
Harold Cannon,
Here.
Bill Cox,
Here.
Jeff Griggs,
Here.
Jeff McMillan,
Here.
Tom Rice,
Here.
Jim Ripley,
Here.
Julie Schuster, Clayton Stout, James Stroud, Trey Teague, Jamie Woodson. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Barber. Has everyone in the commission had a chance to look at the minutes of last meeting, of the April meeting in Paris?
Make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. Are there any announcements from any commissioners, or Director Carter, do you wish to address this before we get started?
No, sir,
Thank you. Okay. Well, I'd like to welcome all our guests that are here today. We should have a sign-in sheet that's moving around, and if you would, please sign it, and that we'll recognize that you're here. If anybody does want to address the commission during the appropriate connotation that we're discussing, feel free to come up. Just raise your hand, and if you'll come up and identify yourself to the mic here, we welcome you to speak. Just try to keep to the subject matter that we're on at that time, and everything will be good. So at this time, we're going to move to a presentation for the Boating Officer of the Year, and I'll turn that over to our I'll let our boating chairman introduce if you'd like. Sorry.
Darren, I'll recognize you to acknowledge our voting officers of the year.
Thank you, Commissioner Cannon. Today, on the behalf of the agency and of the Boating and Law Enforcement Division, we'd like to present the 2012 Tennessee Boating Officer of the Year, Nick Looper. If you'll bear with me, I'll read some of his accomplishments, because I have to read them because he did so much. Nick's assigned to work is the Law Enforcement District of 31 that encompasses 12 counties in the northern Middle Tennessee and contains 3 major reservoirs and 2 river systems. These waterways are popular destinations for fishing and boating activities. Nick's law enforcement efforts were outstanding. He inspected 575 boats for compliance with Tennessee boating laws. They resulted in 43 citations and 69 warnings. Here's where his He had 19 arrests for boating under influence. That's very good work. And he assisted 30 boaters that were either stranded because of mechanical issues or they just needed other assistance. In addition to his boating work, he was also able to issue 40 citations for hunting violations. So this resulted in a number of 171 violations resolved. In the category of boating safety education, he also excelled. He taught 6 classes and certified 166 students where he monitored and graded their exams. And Nick also teaches our newly hired officers in boat operations, close quarter boat handling, and he also teaches BUI enforcement to our new officers. On his public outreach, he also did a great job. He assisted the marina owners in his district by instructing their employees in boater education. He also partnered with the Army Corps of Engineers, the Wild Turkey Federation, and local sportsman clubs to promote boating safety. He participated in a back-to-school program and career days in schools throughout District 31 to promote boating safety. He is also responsible for scheduling and setting up and monitoring the BUI simulator at fairs and public functions to provide awareness and dangers of alcohol and boating. He also initiated a media event on Center Hill Reservoir in preparation for the annual Operation Dry Water Weekend, along with the DeKalb County Sheriff's Department to enhance water awareness. He was successfully reached the public through other forms of media by submitting 8 newspaper articles, several radio interviews, and public service announcements, and TV interviews. Through all his outreach efforts, Nick had personal contact with over 3,000 sportsmen and recreation boaters. On his boating accident investigation, he led 7 investigations. 3 of these were fatality incidents, 2 serious injuries, and 2 property damage. And he also assisted on another fatal accident, which he accumulated well over 100 hours of extended investigation hours. Through his reporting and his investigations, he also pursues the option of criminal charges when they are warranted. This type of professionalism benefits the boating public by giving them an opportunity to seek justice and restitution for criminal acts. And another heroic stuff, he was instrumental in rescue of 2 fishermen who were stranded in a disabled vessel at a Lowhead Dam on the Barren Fork River. He also participated in late night searches for possible missing fishermen due to abandoned boat report on the Caney Fork River. He also assisted in the search of victims in his boating investigations. And through all this effort, he is now a part of the agency's dive team. He's gotten certified to help dive. One would think that through all this work, he had no time for play, but he, in his personal life, and I'd like to make mention of Nick's wife, is Casey. And if you'll remember, the Wear It program in 2008 was our initial program. She was one of the original Wear It crews, and then she also served in 2009 as part of our Wear It crew. So I commend Casey or any other spouse to put up with a game warden life. So with this effort, you think he wouldn't have time for anything, but he also enjoys vacation time with Casey. He goes on a mission trip once or twice a year to Puerto Rico with a group, including his father, to help refurbish homes, build or repair church buildings. Nick also enjoys the great outdoors in our state by hunting with family, friends, and fellow officers. I'd also like to recognize his supervision, Lieutenant Tim Singleton, Captain Roy Cannon, and Major C.J. James. Kudos to them for supervision of Nick. Nick, now with receiving the state winner, will be thrown into a pool of SASBLA, the regional association that includes 18 states and 2 territories, to be possible national winner. So we'll wait and find out with that. But so Nick, congratulations, job well done. I'll get with him outside.
Congratulations, Officer Looper. I was informed that his grandparents and mother, all three are here, so we're glad to have y'all, and I know you're proud of your son as much as we are. Commissioner Bledsoe and I were talking about the rescue you made with the people hung on the dam. We thought it was interesting, the picture that was shown, and the guy was still fishing. He was in trouble, but he wasn't gonna give up that chance to catch a fish, was he? But you're very exemplary of what we're so proud of in our agency, and that's officers like you. It's both your personal life and your business life, and we very much appreciate what you do, and thank you for all y'all. So, thank you I guess you have another presentation?
We got one more.
All right.
This is, again, on behalf of the agency and the Boating and Law Enforcement Division, we'd like to recognize the 2012 Tennessee Part-Time Boating Officer of the Year. And it's neat, and I'm proud that Tommy's here, and it's not the Allen Herald Award, because he had won it the previous 2 years, but Tommy's well-deserved of this award this year. He is also in District 31, same three reservoirs in the lakes and the rivers that he works, which Tommy's law enforcement efforts, he patrols the Caney Fork River below Center Hill Dam is where most of his efforts is put, and he also patrols Center Hill Reservoir. He inspected 2,937 boats this year for compliance with Tennessee boating laws, which resulted in 49 citations and 31 warnings. Tommy also had 2 arrests for boating under influence for alcohol and drugs while on patrol. And while on patrol, he assisted 15 boaters that were either stranded or needed other assistance. This results in a total number of law enforcement actions of 82 violations resolved. Tommy also assisted with boater education efforts in District 31. He taught 2 classes and certified 19 students in boater ed. He presented 1 public program and maintains a good relationship with the Tennessee State Parks, the U.S. Army Corps Engineer. He also works with Free Fishing Day events to promote boating safety and has developed a working relationship with the boat liveries that serve the Caney Fork River. Excuse me. Part-time boating officer Tommy Stockland is one of the hardest working officers in all of District 31. He works every weekend checking hundreds of boaters on the Caney Fork, and usually that starts early in the morning, works well in the afternoon. He hops off the Caney Fork, jumps on Center Hill, and works late at night enforcing Center Hill. He's always willing to work and assist with boating accidents, drownings, or any special events that involves boating. Tommy regularly performs maintenance. They rely on him to keep the boats up and running on Center Hill and Caney Fork. He often frequently helps assist with boating education classes, and he tests them out on various sites out on the marinas there on the lake. He's worked with Corps engineers to place, he's worked with Corps to store the patrol boats there at Center Hill. And then he also maintains the Riverhawk boat that's assigned to Center Hill, and he always keeps it available for a quick response in case a water emergency arises on the river. He works well with each officer in District 31 and their surrounding districts. He can be counted to work alone if needed and no other officers available. And another thing Tommy does, he'll get at the boat ramps and do a courtesy check for the boat's launch, giving those boaters opportunity to come in compliance before they get underway. He also works in conjunction with Hidden Harbor dock owners and customers in a fundraising event in the form of a barbecue cook-off. The proceeds from this event go to Jolly Angels. It's a nonprofit organization that assists families of military personnel at Fort Campbell. Tommy is also supervised. They racked up this year, Lieutenant Tim Singleton, Captain Roy Cannon, and Major C.J. James. He's a great asset to the agency and part of the reason why Tennessee waters are safe and enjoyable for all users. Congratulations, Tommy.
congratulations, Officer Stockley, on your award. I think it's interesting that they consider you part-time, but yet you had 2,900 inspections. What do they consider full-time? Okay. Excellent work, though. We appreciate you. Okay. We're going to move now to the Wildlife Management Committee. I'm going to ask Commissioner Trey Teague, Chairman, to take over, please.
Thank you. Yesterday, the Wildlife Committee voted, and I'd like to recommend passage of Proclamation 13-05. Oh, I got to introduce Daryl. Sorry, can we rewind that? Take two. Daryl Radachak. I didn't have enough coffee yet, evidently.
Thank you, Commissioner Teague and the rest of the commission. Yesterday, we came before the committees to present the hunting and trapping seasons for 2003 for the state of Tennessee. And we brought forward 4 different proclamations. The first proclamation we brought forward was Proclamation 13-05, which is the Big Game Proclamation. As I understand it, the committee voted to amend this proclamation to change some verbiage in the turkey regulation to allow, to make it more clear that a licensed hunter can assist another hunter in calling on our WMAs. And we would recommend passage of Proclamation 13-05 as amended.
Mr. Chairman, do we need a second first before we talk amendments?
Second.
My apology, I was too.
Okay. We have a motion, please? Okay, we have it. We can discuss amendments now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My apology for being so quick on the draw. Mr. Chairman, when we began the hog control efforts in this state, going on turkeys? I thought we were on Big Game. My apology.
It's
part
the
of the
Big
Big
Game
Game.
Proclamation.
Am I okay? But don't answer that, all right? No.
More coffee for everyone.
That was the only amendment.
When we began the hog eradication, hog control efforts in this state, as it progressed, one of the comments we made as a commission was our hope to partner with the hunting community to help us get rid of hogs in this state. There's just too many, as I understand it. We need to eliminate 70% of the hogs each year just to hold status quo. We have this in a couple of places in the state, and I would like to make this applicable during the bear season, but that a lot of words to say, wherever there's the opportunity to hunt bears with dogs, that I would ask that those sections of this proclamation be amended to also include a wild hog control season where dogs would also be permitted. In essence, this will allow the incidental taking of a hog during those bear hunts with dogs.
Okay, we have a motion to amend Proclamation 1305, Big Game Proclamation, to include in bear hunts where dogs are involved, to include the words slash hog control season, or no, we wouldn't say season, hog control.
It's labeled season and some of the other stuff on which I
I don't know if we want to say season other than wild hog control. Okay, do I have a second? What discussion, any, with the commission?
Does this address the ability of them to continue to carry their,
That's what it is addressing.
okay.
Do I have any discussion from the audience? We're ready to vote? All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? Okay, we have 2 noes, and you do the math. Rest ayes. Okay. Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to proclamation.
I have an amendment for this.
Okay, you have another
Second,
amendment?
yes.
I'm sorry.
And I apologize for not doing it yesterday. The Wolf River WMA quota turkey hunt presently closes at noon, and I've discussed it with the Region 1, Mr. Peterson and Mr. Hamilton, and they are fine with it. In fact, they discussed doing it, but I move to amend the proclamation. Is that
This-
that's
no,
not this
that-
proclamation.
That's not this one.
Okay, so we'll continue on to 1306, please.
Was 1305 passed, or was the amendment passed?
All right, I apologize. We need to go ahead and vote on proclamation 1305 to have a, as amended, to have a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, ready to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Now we move on.
The next proclamation that we brought forward was Proclamation 13-06, which is our wildlife management area hunting seasons. This proclamation came out of committee without any amendments, and we'd recommend that the commission passes Proclamation 13-06.
All right. All right. Do I ask for a discussion there? Do I have a second? Discussion.
Got an amendment, Mr. Chairman. I move to amend the proclamation to close the Wolf River WMA quota turkey hunt at 2 o'clock from noon. And I've spoken to the wildlife people, and they're good with it.
Okay, so we have an amendment to proclamation 1306 to close the turkey season instead of noon. It'll be at 2 p.m. And this is on the Wolf River WMA. Is there any discussion? Yes?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a clarifying question. As far as the quota hunts across the state, is there any sort of rhyme or reason to noon to sunset? Is there a protocol for these kinds of decisions? I certainly am very open to this. It sounds like a wonderful idea, especially if everybody's friendly to it, but I'm just ignorant about if there's a protocol typically.
No, I don't believe so. I don't know how many closed earlier, and I don't know the justification. I may ask one of the region folks.
I addressed that. I asked them about that, and when they first opened the WMA to quota hunt, they weren't sure about the numbers of turkeys and how the harvest would be, so they picked noon as an arbitrary number just to be safe, and they haven't killed a lot of turkeys, and they're looking for ways to maybe help, and moving it to 2 o'clock might be one of those ways. If somebody got on a bird at 11:30, they would have enough time to try to kill it and not have to stop at noon. So
Is there any concern with the resource to have it go with the rest of the season, to go all day?
I think they'd rather not go till late in the evening. I mean, person could still stay and roost the birds for the next morning for the next morning's hunt, but I think that I specifically asked about a later time, and they prefer not to go any later than that right now.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Any other questions for the commission? Comments from the audience? Okay, do I have a motion then for proclamation 1306?
We gotta get a second on mine.
On your amendment? That's what I was going to ask. I was going to say amendment, but that's fine. Do I have a second? We have a second. Questions? We good? Did Director Carter okay?
I believe that was just the amendment for the Wolf River.
That's all it is for right now? Yeah, right. So we're just voting on the amendment of the Wolf River. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, carries.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to offer one more amendment. That is on South Cherokee. There's a bear party dog hunt identified there. I would like the words added, wild hog control.
Okay. I understand that, but on the North Cherokee, there's bear hunts on the WMA that have the season include all statewide, so we not just say all wildlife management WMAs that have dog hunts?
I'm gonna ask for some clarification, Darrell, in that the bear on the North Cherokee says same as statewide season. Does what we adopted in 1305 apply to this, or do I need to?
If there's dog hunts within those counties and it follows statewide seasons, it would allow that.
Then that covers it.
Okay, so we're good with the way the amendment's presented, or just all WMAs? I didn't know why we were specifying
me-
out
let me-
South Cherokee.
Let me make it clear, and then we'll let them work through the words. Wherever there are bear dog hunts allowed on WMAs.
I think that's
In the
good.
state of Tennessee, I would like the words added, wild hog control.
All right, do I have a second? Discussion? All right, we're ready to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I think we have 2 noes. Motion carries. All right, so we need to vote on Proclamation 1306. Do I have a motion for Proclamation 1306 as amended?
So move.
Second? Second. We have a second. Any discussion? All right, we're ready to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on.
This brings us to Proclamation 13-07, which is our National Wildlife Refuge proclamation. We brought this proclamation before the committee, and it was voted on without amendment. We'd please ask that the commission pass Proclamation 13-07.
All right, we're on Proclamation 1307. Any discussion? From the audience? We ready to vote? All right. My fault. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to 1309.
Yesterday, there was discussion within the committee regarding Proclamation 13-09, which was, the commission decided to discuss some changes to the old proclamation, and what came out of that meeting was some new language that would create Proclamation 13-09, and I will turn it over to the commission to discuss.
I know, we're just. All right, do you want to make the motion? Go ahead.
Yesterday, the Wildlife Management Committee voted, and I recommend passage of Proclamation 13-09 as.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
So we have a second. Any discussion?
And just for clarification, the amendment was for the date of a 1-year extension rather than 2, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Any discussion from the audience? Guess we're ready to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
If you don't mind, I'll take over for Steve Nifong. Steve came and presented Proclamation 13-08, which is the Manner and Means Proclamation. He brought this forward, and we recommend passage of Proclamation 13-08. And forgive me, I don't know if it was amended or not out of committee.
I don't think.
It was not amended. Yesterday, the Wildlife Committee voted, and I recommend passage Proclamation 13-08, manner and means.
Do I have a second?
Second.
So we have a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, yesterday I had offered some amendment language because of the action we just took on 1305 and 1306. I withdraw that proposal.
Okay. Any other discussion? Audience? Okay, we're ready to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? 1308 carries. Thank you.
The only other action we need the commission to take at this point is in regards to our chronic wasting disease containment zone. The commission usually votes to adopt the regulations for this containment zone, and what we recommend as an agency is to add 2 more counties to our containment zone, which would include Bedford and Blair counties in Pennsylvania. These 2 counties were recently discovered to be CWD positive.
Commissioner McMillan, yesterday, the Wildlife Committee voted, and I recommend passage of the new CWD containment zone areas, which is Bedford and Blair County, Pennsylvania.
Is there any discussion? I have a second. Okay, we're ready to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioner. That is all I have.
I guess that ends our, I'm sorry. All right, we need a pause.